Hi, it's Rachel with Rachel's Remedies, and today I'm going to do another homeschool video. So if you haven't been tuned in, make sure I've done a few other videos by now. I'm going to be doing SWR again. Let's keep going through spell to write and read. Remember, don't get hung up on any one part of spell to write and read. Don't get too stopped and like stopping too slowly, moving too slowly through any one of the steps. Just keep going, keep pushing forward. Don't feel like you need to gather every single piece and have it be perfect the first year. So if this is your first time here, my name is Rachel. I have 5 children who have all done spell to write and read. They did it kindergarten through 5th grade, and we were we have been so happy that we did that program and can't wait to share it with you. So today I kind of want to bounce back to, you're going to do your, you have 2 books. You have Spell to Write and Read, and you have the Wise Guide for Spelling. At this point, we've gotten to section 12. We're in our little books already, and we're doing our word list. Now, when you do a new word list and skip to section C in my word list this week, I love this program because at the top of the page, it's going to say, it's going to have preliminaries. Have you already introduced, and there's 5 new phonograms. If you have not introduced these, go ahead and introduce these. So when you do the program, you're going to have your 70 phonograms, your 29 spelling rules, and you're just introducing them a little bit at a time until you've got them all covered, and then you're weaving them into your daily program for the week. A that we may use at the end of an English word. Any extra little markings, it's because I've advanced enough in the program to know the A actually, this is the A we may use at the end of an English word, and then later in the program, 3rd grade, you're gonna be like, what else can the A say? And they will know, it'll say I as in Bayou. It's the A that we may not use at the end of an English word, and it also has an advanced sound later, I as in Hawaii. But for 95% of the words in the English language, you only need to know that when you see the AI together, it says A, and that we may not use it at the end of an English word because there's an I on the end of those 2 letters, and you never ever have an I at the end of an English word. E-A is another one you're introducing this week. E-A. Now, on the back of the card, you have visual aids and notes, and as a teacher, you will very quickly realize the little cues are helping you. So on the E at A, you can put 2 fingers, one on the E, one on the A, as a visual aid to help reinforce this one. You hold your 2 fingers in the V configuration in front of the card, say E in a normal tone of voice, point with the other hand to the letter E. Say eh in a lower voice. So E, A. Okay, we're gonna drop your voice, drop down to the point where the fingers join, and say A in a normal voice and point to the letter A. This will help them because it does have 3 sounds. Some of these phonograms have multiple sounds, and so we do little clues to help them. E, A. Simple, it's just or. And then the last one is the oo and oo. And can we use this phonogram at the end of an English word? What would your answer be? It would be no, because it has an I on the end of it. With you, and we're going to talk about think to spell, because think to spell is something the book says quite a bit. And so you need to know, what does that mean when the book says think to spell? Because it's actually a very important part of the program. So let's start with out. So think to spell out, out. Think to spell, you're thinking what sounds are in this word. Well, there's 2 sounds, ow and t. Now, for the owl, We're going to underline this one. It's a two letter phonogram that makes the sound ow. We're going to have your prepositions and your pronouns. And so the first 10 words are prepositions, the second 10 words are pronouns. We are on word list, I believe it's C. Good. Okay, so here is C. And as you can see, I have in, and then across from the word in, I have the I. By, me, out, you, to, he. So when you get to the bottom and you make an original sentence, it's very easy because you have prepositions and you have pronouns. And then one of the words on this page is the word of. And I want to talk about this because of is an exception word, but of, O-F, and I'm going to do think to spell off, is how I did the think to spell, because it almost is like an off, an O and an F. Think to spell off, but we say of. Okay, so rule breakers are rare for us. We put an X over the phonogram when it makes a different sound from the sound that we are taught. So on the of, you're going to put a little X over the F because it's an exception rule. Think to spell off, we say of. Think to spell off. So think to spell is how the word looks in your brain, and the word we say when we see it is of. Think to spell off, we say of. How many syllables is of? And it's actually one. The student writes off, and then the student reads of. The teacher, and then you're going to put a little X over the F because an exception. Why do we use the F to make the V sound? There will always be, if there's an exception, there will be a reference in this book to where in the red book you can talk about and explain the exception word. English words do not end with a V, which is rule 6. In the past, the word of was said the same way we spell it. Notice the similar way we make the sounds for f and v. One is voiced, the other is unvoiced. So get out your little mirror and you're gonna look at your face and you're gonna say f, and then you're gonna say v. And you're gonna notice that your mouth is actually doing the exact same shape, but it's making a sound with one and it's quiet with the other. And then v. Okay. Put your hand on your throat to say the F sound. Then put your hand on your throat to say the V sound. We turn on our motor. We vibrate our vocal cords to say V. Of or v. Of the 20,000 English words used in Paul Hanna's research project, this is the only time that F represents the V sound. Words like wife and wives show a connection between the F and V, but the spelling of these words are spelled like they sound. So this is where think to spell is really handy. The book will use the words think to spell. You're supposed to think to spell every word that you make. Busy, busy, busy has how many syllables? 2 syllables. We're going to think to spell bus. We're going to think to spell bus, I. Okay, busy. We say busy. We think to spell bus, I. Right? So you think to spell. When I say think to spell, if I say it over and over and over with each word, the child will start to, in their mind, they'll start thinking bus-y. Bus and the I sound, and I'm going to put an X over my U. The U never says I, but in this particular instance, this is one of my exception words, And then I put a little 2 on top of the S because it's the z. It has a z sound. Busy. And then the Y, you never have an I at the end of an English word, so we have the busy. The Y at the end of the English word. We're going to use the U to say it, and this is an exception word. You get to put a little X. Think to spell bus I. Say busy. Mother. Mother. I'm going to do one more think to spell word. Mother. We're going to think to spell moth is how it's spelled. Moth is the first syllable, and is the second syllable. Moth-er. So we're going to clap it out. It has 2 syllables. Mother. We're going to think to spell moth-er. And we're going to underline the TH because those are together. And in this word it says moth. So let's put a little 2 on top because the TH is married and it's saying its second sound. The is also a couple. They are married, and as in her. So mother is how we would say this. Think to spell moth-er. Okay, so I wanted to get that a point across to y'all about think to spell because the book uses these 3 words a lot, and that, I don't know why, but on the printed page, to me, think to spell doesn't mean a whole lot. So that's what it means. Think to spell. How does this word, another good think to spell word is Wednesday. Wednesday is how you say the word, but we're going to think to spell Wednesday. 3 syllables. Think to spell Wednesday. But we say, once we write the word, it's Wednesday, okay? So I wanted to get that point across to you because it's pretty early in the book. You're gonna start saying your words, thinking, and think to spell is a really important part of the program that I feel like if someone doesn't teach you what think to spell is, it's kind of confusing. So I hope I got the point across. Think to spell is the sounds you're thinking to spell this word, but the actual word says this. And some words are really weird. You think to spell this over here, but it really says like Wednesday, and then it really says Wednesday. So hope y'all enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or want me to cover anything else. I'm just going to kind of work through these books, and as I come upon things that are kind of hard to understand the first time you read through the Spell to Write and Read program, I'm passing it along. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.